Vladimir Putin, a name that evokes fear, fascination, and mystery around the world. On paper, he earns just about $140,000 a year, a modest salary compared to tech billionaires, oil tycoons, or even mid-level CEOs. But in reality, his lifestyle is more extravagant than any living monarch. Palaces worth billions, super yachts stretching over 100 meters, outfitted with anti-drone defenses and gold-trimmed ballrooms, private jets equipped with biometric war rooms, and even a secret armored train whispered about under the name Ghost Train. This is not just wealth. This is wealth turned into a weapon, designed not for comfort, but for control. The shocking truth is this: Putin's empire did not begin with money. It began in a dim basement office in Dresden, East Germany, where he served as a KGB officer. It was there that he learned a crucial lesson. Empires may collapse, but networks of loyalty can survive. When the Soviet Union crumbled, many lost everything. But not Putin. He carried with him the most valuable skills of the KGB: how to control information, how to exploit weakness, and how to build a network rooted in fear and allegiance. In 1998, when Putin rose to become the director of the FSB, the successor to the KGB, he didn't just oversee an intelligence agency. He transformed it into a machine of power. Secret files known as kompromat became his weapons of choice, used to manipulate politicians, oligarchs, and journalists. Rivals didn't fall in scandals, they vanished in silence. And loyalists were placed in the most critical positions: Gazprom, Rosneft, VTB Bank. From this moment on, Putin refined his formula of power. You don't need to own, as long as you control. That formula became the foundation of his invisible fortune. Instead of signing his name on deeds and bank accounts, Putin allowed his inner circle of oligarchs to hold them. Take Arkady Rotenberg, his former judo sparring partner, who won a $7 billion state contract to build the Crimean Bridge. In return, Rotenberg funneled resources into private jets, villas, and estates at Putin's disposal. Or Yuri Kovalchuk, the owner of Russia Bank, often described as the Kremlin's wallet, who channels money through offshore structures across Europe. Or Gennady Timchenko, the oil baron worth tens of billions, whose empire grew thanks to presidential decrees. On paper, these assets belong to the oligarchs. In reality, they exist for one man, Vladimir Putin. This is an ecosystem of shadow wealth, sustained not by legal documents but by loyalty and fear. If you trace the trail, you enter a labyrinth of assets spread across the globe. The Shahrazad yacht, valued at $1.5 billion, stretching 460 feet, with bulletproof glass and ceilings painted like Versailles. A penthouse in Monaco, offering sweeping views of the Mediterranean, legally owned by a shell company in the Virgin Islands. A chalet in Gstaad, Switzerland. A villa on Sardinia's Emerald Coast, each cloaked in layers of offshore firms: Cyprus, BVI, Swiss trusts, each company a legal firewall. If one cracks, another takes its place. This is not ordinary secrecy. This is an architecture of permanence, engineered to outlast regimes, sanctions, and even history itself. But wealth is only one layer of Putin's power. His methods of movement are equally shrouded in mystery. While most world leaders travel by jet or armored convoy, Putin relies on something more elusive: a secret armored train, known only as the Ghost Train. This train does not appear on schedules. It never repeats a route. Only 3 individuals in the Russian government know its precise itinerary. Inside, a mahogany-paneled boardroom houses encrypted satellite uplinks, biometric secured terminals, and soundproof walls lined with Italian leather. Every journey is preceded by sweep teams disguised as railway workers, inspecting tracks and deploying electronic jammers. This is not transportation. It is a fortress on rails, designed for invisibility. Then there is the Black Sea Palace, a private citadel rumored to cost over $1.4 billion. Spanning more than 190,000 square meters, it dwarfs Buckingham Palace. It features a casino modeled after Las Vegas, a private theater with 230 seats, an underground hockey rink, and even a hidden tunnel leading directly to the sea. The interiors are coated with African wenge wood, Italian marble, and ceilings lined with gold leaf. In the bathrooms, toilet brushes priced at $800 each were once exposed by whistleblowers, shocking even the most seasoned corruption investigators. This is not a residence meant for admiration. It is a stronghold, guarded by the Russian Federal Protective Service, camouflaged by state contractors and hidden under the guise of a sanitation project. On the ground, Putin commands a fleet of over 700 vehicles. His limousine of choice is the Russian-made Urus Senat, an armored fortress on wheels, shielded against EMPs and fitted with encrypted satellite uplinks. These cars are flanked by convoys of Mercedes Maybachs and Range Rover Sentinels, each equipped with run-flat tires, underbody armor, and electronic countermeasures. Convoy routes are rarely repeated. Decoy motorcades are deployed. Entire intersections are locked down by mobile jammers. And in the skies, Putin commands a fleet of 58 aircraft, including 4 customized IL-96 300PU jets. Each costs $500 million and doubles as an airborne Kremlin, complete with missile defense systems, secure nuclear command links, and interiors lined with rare Karelian birch. This is not just luxury, it is the choreography of power. When international sanctions struck Russia's elites, many yachts were seized, accounts frozen, and jets grounded. But Putin's empire did not flinch. Assets tied to his circle simply shifted ownership. A Swiss commodities firm linked to one associate was transferred overnight to an Abu Dhabi holding. Villas in Sardinia reappeared under new shell companies within days. The Shahrazad yacht, once tracked in Italy, quietly changed its flag registration through legal offices in Mauritius and sailed beyond European reach. This is not the wealth of a billionaire dodging penalties. This is the wealth of a state leader who has turned global finance into a battlefield, where every sanction is just another wall to bypass. Yet Putin's most effective illusion lies in his public image. On television, he is seen ice fishing in Siberia, drinking tea in wooden cabins, or riding horseback bare-chested. A man of the people, a leader untouched by the excesses of the oligarchs. But behind this carefully staged image lies a network of assets rivaling monarchies, sustained by oligarchs whose loyalty is the true vault. Unlike a king, Putin's empire is not written into law. It is safeguarded by silence. That silence, however, is fragile. The moment he leaves power, the balance could crumble. Assets could surface in court cases, paper trails could leak, and the very oligarchs who once stood as his shield could become his betrayers. Already, cracks are forming. Some insiders are shifting their holdings to safer jurisdictions like the UAE, Singapore, or Turkey, beyond the reach of Western cooperation. Others have quietly sold villas in France or chalets in Switzerland, citing personal reasons under the growing spotlight of global scrutiny. Still, Putin's brand of strength continues to resonate at home. For many Russians, his luxury is not seen as corruption, but as proof that their leader can stand toe-to-toe with Western elites. And that is the paradox of Putin's empire. It is both invincible and vulnerable, built not on ownership, but on obedience, not on paper, but on power. If his grip remains, it is untouchable. But if it loosens, the empire could collapse in a single night. From armored ghost trains to billion-dollar palaces, from shell companies in the Caribbean to villas in the Alps, Vladimir Putin's fortune exists off the books and off the map. Every layer is a projection of dominance, not decadence. But as political winds shift and loyalty fades, the silence protecting his empire may not last forever. The ultimate question remains, is this an eternal empire of shadows or an illusion destined to vanish with the man who built it?